when you talk about a diverse culture, I think there is no richer country than India. I had an opportunity to work across, have worked with people from diverse culture, whether you talk about Maharashtra, you talk about Gujarat, Punjab, Delhi, West Bengal, South, any part of South, or any, so I think when you work with people, so that's the time when you understand each individual and you treat them the way they need to be treated.
Hello and welcome to FaceTime with Leaders, the podcast series brought to you by Directors Institute, World Council of Directors. I'm your host, Sunny Pancholi, and today we have the privilege of speaking with someone whose leadership and vision have shaped businesses across multiple industries. Our guest today, Mr. Bishal Bhattacharya, brings over 25 years of experience, having successfully led high-performing teams, implemented innovative strategies, and driven remarkable growth across sectors like retail, financial services, and real estate. From securing millions in funding for the startups to transforming underperforming business units into profitable ones, his impact has been far reaching both in India and internationally. Mr. Bishal Bhattacharya, it's a pleasure to have you with us today. Thank you for joining.
Thank you. Thank you so very much, Mr. Pancholi. Pleasure to be here.
Mr. Bhattacharya, we are really excited to dive into your journey and discuss your insights into leadership, business expansion, and strategic growth. Your track record speaks for itself, and I know our audience is eager to learn from the experiences that have shaped your approach to business.
Oh, I'm happy to share, and I'm sure I'll be able to add value to the audience.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I'm sure they will appreciate it. So let's jump right in. Okay, so I know we have talked a little about your incredible career journey into the intro, but I would love to dive deeper. So when you look back at your journey, what would you say were some of those defining moments or experiences that really helped shape who you are today, both personally and professionally?
Oh, the most challenging situation is when you come from a very small city and you decide to do something really big. So just to give you a background, I come from a very small city of India, and that's a place where people probably never thought that they will look at a corporate world so positively and move ahead. I remember, going to government schools, no fancy, chair, no AC, no fan, sitting on the floor, sitting on a mat, and having a notepad in my lap. So that was the time when I decided that let me take a little bigger decision in life. And even the bigger issue was I studied everything in Hindi medium. I come from a place where English was a very fancy language. So I studied till graduation. I did everything in Hindi medium. There was no roadmap, nobody to guide what to do in life, what not to do. And then I decided to come to Bombay. I still remember, the biggest challenge then was how do I talk to people in Bombay, because nobody used to talk in Hindi, everybody used to talk in English. So the first challenge was how do I communicate? And the second problem was how do I take care of all this? Because there was nobody to support even financially. So I opted for the easiest work. I got into a newspaper vendor. I became a newspaper vendor, started distributing newspapers in Bombay. I remember those days at 4:30 a.m. in the morning, I used to go and stand in front of the newspaper vendor to collect newspapers. That's the time when you collect newspapers and then you go and distribute. And I used to wait for Saturdays and Sundays. You know why? Because those days, newspaper on Saturdays and Sunday newspaper used to be quite expensive. I think I remember around 12 rupees or 13 rupees or something like that. So a newspaper is expensive, so the commission will be more. So, Saturdays and Sundays used to be our rosy days when we used to make more money. And that's the time I also enrolled myself for English speaking class, because I knew that without this, I won't be able to survive in this entire world. Even when I was doing my English speaking class, I remember I used to travel from a Nariman Point to Fort to have vada pav. Okay, and why I used to travel from Nariman Point to Fort is Nariman Point, the vada pav was at 1 rupee, and at Fort it was at 75 paisa. So that's how we started our life. And yes, it was quite challenging. And then I moved into a corporate world. In the corporate world was fantastic, fantastic. Because I feel proud that I had an opportunity to work with leading organizations, with one of the top, leaders in the country. And that's how I started my career. So it was a fabulous journey. When I look back and when I think of what is that I did in my life, I'm fortunate enough that I work with those leading brands in India.
What an incredible journey, Mr. Bhattacharya. And it's amazing to hear how those early challenges shaped the way you approach leadership today.
See, I have always believed that, when you look at a corporate world, when I think of how I started my journey and where I stand today, I always believe that transparency and trust plays a very, very critical role. It's a foundation of any relationship, whether it is your personal relationship or your professional relationship. Across my journey, when I look back and when I think of what I have done in past, I really feel proud that I have, I had an opportunity to add value to the organization as well.
Incredible, Mr. Bhattacharya, incredible. Great. So, continuing our conversation, managing client portfolios and forming partnerships across 9 countries speaks to not just expertise, but a deep understanding of the global business landscape. So, can you take us through your approach to building lasting relationships across such diverse cultures? And what's the one insight you have gained over the years that has truly shaped how you connect with clients worldwide?
Oh, fantastic. See, when you talk about a diverse culture, I think there is no richer country than India. I had an opportunity to work across, have worked with people from diverse culture, whether you talk about Maharashtra, you talk about Gujarat, Punjab, Delhi, West Bengal, South, any part of South, or any, so I think when you work with people, so that's the time when you understand each individual and you treat them the way they need to be treated. And I still remember one of my old bosses used to tell me that the day your team member comes to you and talks about his personal problem with you, that's the time when you gain their trust, and that's the time when you become a true leader. And whether it's a personal relationship or professional relationship, I have always experienced that that's something which has played a very critical role. And when you come from that kind of management, when you have managed such a diverse background of people in India, I think people are same, just the behavior differs, So whether you manage people in India or you manage people in any other part of the world, I think one thing which is very important, you just need to understand people and you need to treat them the way they need to be treated. Professionally, if I say, transparency plays a very critical role, because, the people who work with you, they actually learn from you and they actually observe how you behave and how you work. So when you are building a team, that time, two things play a very, very critical role. One is transparency and second one is a trust. I will just give a very small example here, And here I'm talking about my professional career. because that's what we are talking about today. In my career, I have always believed that you need to be very, very transparent with your team, because that's the core. Okay. Like I said, I will quote one example. I will quote a very simple example here. Target setting is something which is very, basic kind of a practice in a corporate world. Every team, every department has a target. So I remember, because I'm from a sales background. So we used to have numbers, So I have seen at many places where, say, for an example, I have a target of doing 100 rupees. Okay. So I will go to my downlines and I tell them that I have 150 rupees of target, because I do not have a trust that my team will be able to do it. Some buffer, I say, 100 let me do ask for 150. So at least I will reach 150. And that guy will again go down if he has another team to in the front line. He will say, see, I have a target of 200. So ultimately what is happening? I'm actually spoiling my entire team by adding, adding on to whatever target I had. But trust me, I had a very strong and a fabulous team. So it was so transparent that if I have a target of 100, I will go back and I will tell my team that I have a target of 100. And that's where you build an accountability as well. So one, you are in a position to create a culture which is very, very important for a sustainable business in future. At the same time, your team is aware that my boss, when he's coming and talking about a target, he's absolutely transparent. So these are two things which I have used practically, I have experienced, and I have seen the way it is accepted by the leaders. And I'm, frankly speaking, I'm fortunate enough. I feel very proud when I look at my team. They have grown multifold professionally and personally too.
Amazing, amazing, Mr. Bhattacharya. And rightly said, success in global business isn't just about numbers, or to say in any business, it isn't about numbers, but about building those meaningful connections that last, and the trust that is the most important part.
No. I think, see, numbers, it's in business, numbers are important. Okay. But what I believe is, if you are not in a position to add value to the culture and to the business, which is sustainable, it's of no use. So if you really want to achieve little more, or even much more than what your organization expects, you need to build a team which is strong enough, sustainable enough to add value and for future. And at least you should build an empire. If you think that I just want to do what I am supposed to do, then actually you are not a leader and you are not going to achieve the bigger paradigm. So if you really want to do something bigger, you need to build that culture, build a relationship, have a sustainable team, build a foundation. So ultimately you achieve much more than what an organization also can expect from.
Absolutely, absolutely. Okay. So, Mr. Bhattacharya, you have been instrumental in turning around underperforming organizations throughout your career. So, when you think about your journey, is there a specific moment or turning point that stands out? A moment where everything changed? How did you tackle that challenge, and what key lessons did you take away from
it? See, sometimes I wonder that, in my professional career, I have seen that I have always is been in a challenging situation, but at the same time, all these challenges turned into an opportunity for me. See, there are many stories I can discuss. I can share a lot of details, whatever I have done in past, but let me discuss about something which stands out. I joined an organization where I was given a territory to manage. And that territory was doing around 30% of its operational cost. So you can imagine the situation we were going through. And for any individual like me who was in love with P&L, it was a red flag. So what we did not do any wonder. We did not do any wonder as far as, if I actually look at it that way. As I mentioned earlier, my focus was primarily into transparency, trust, building a team, etc. We did a brainstorm, we discussed with the entire team, and we could get into the core issue. We could get into a core issue, and we tried to analyze what went right, what went wrong. I will again share an example here. We initiated a small campaign called Red Envelope. So what we did, we distributed a red envelope with A4 size sheet inside to all the employees, and we told them to write whatever you want to write. And you come back to us with your feedback, and we will ensure that we work on whatever you discuss. And the response was fabulous. When we received all the responses, we realized that we need to do a lot more to achieve where we want to achieve, where we want to go, because we were just 30% of what we were supposed to do, we were doing. And we did fantastic. You know why? Because we did not just look at the symptoms of the problem. We got into the root cause of the problem. We started interacting with people, started hiring people, training them, mentoring them, managing each and every activity. We found that there are a lot of loopholes which needs to be addressed. Otherwise, we will not be able to achieve 100%. And we were very, very clear that we need to end the year with profits. We were just 30% of the operating cost. And let me tell you, the outcome was fantastic. We closed the year with 100% of our target. Surprisingly, the next year, the following year was 3x of what we did in the previous year, and it never stopped thereafter. So yes, there were a lot of initiatives. We would have decided to stop there. When we looked at our P&L, we said, ab to nahi ho sakta. Now we cannot do anything because we are just at 30% of our operating cost. We would have stopped. But the kind of team we built, and this was possible only by doing one thing, making your hands dirty. So until we as a leader, we decide that we want to achieve it, it will not happen. Until we give that confidence in the team that we want to do it, it will not happen. Until we give them that power that you can do it, it will not happen. So there were a lot of things which we did, and trust me, the outcome was fabulous. So we did a lot of things, probably like I said earlier, I can give you 100 stories like this, but this is something which is close to my heart. So I still remember, and sometimes I feel really proud that as a team, we could deliver what was expected. And one more thing which I would like to add, by doing this, it was not only a team who achieved what they were supposed to achieve. As an organization also, we did a lot of strategic changes in the PRP process, performance review process, because that gave an indication to an organization that if a loss-making unit can reach to that level within 7 to 8 months' time, and the following year, if it can be 3x, then it's possible to do it. So, of course, there were a lot of pluses which were accepted by the organization. It was implemented, and yes, we could achieve what we were supposed to.
That's incredibly inspiring, Mr. Bishal. And it's clear that leadership isn't just about executing plans, but about learning from moments that shape us.
Oh, yes. I think, see, if we do not learn, if we do not actually practice what we are doing, and if we do not, like I said, if you have to make your hands dirty, I cannot just say that, my team has to do it. It doesn't add value. You have to make your own hands dirty and show them then how it has to happen. And that's again a learning phase. You learn from your practice.
Absolutely. Moving forward, Mr. Bhattacharya, one thing that really stands out in your career is the incredible feat of reducing employee attrition from 46% to a single digit, especially in an industry that's known for its competitive nature. So I'm really curious to know what strategies did you implement that made such a significant impact on employee retention?
See, imagine a situation, again, this is one of the situation which is very close to my heart. Imagine a situation where 50% of your employee will vanish within a year. So that's the situation. As a unit, as a business, it's a loss to the organization because you are incurring heavy cost in hiring, training, mentoring, supporting, a lot more. It's just not one cost. And as a leader, you know that you are unable to build a sustainable business because new next year. So again, you would require a time to train them, mentor, handle, and do a lot more things. So again, there were many things which I can discuss here, but 2-3 initiatives which we took. One was like which I mentioned earlier, the red envelope. That was a game changer because that gave us an idea that what is that we are supposed to do. Yeah, so uh, imagine a situation when at the end of the year you see that 50% of your team is vanished. Uh, it's just not a number. Like it's a painful situation when you see that after a year half of your team will be new, and it's a heavy loss to the organization when I talk about numbers. But if you look at a team, the team gets demotivated because what they were supposed to achieve they cannot, and they will not be in a position to build a sustainable business because your entire team is new. So after digging into data, we went into the root cause. We looked at the situation we were going through, and we implemented a lot of initiatives. One of the initiatives, like I mentioned earlier, the red envelope, where that gave us a lot of ideas what we are supposed to do to ensure that we are in a position to build a strong team. Second initiative which I still remember, we started an initiative called Guftagu. So it was just kind of a discussion forum where we asked our team to come forward, talk your hearts out, whether it is personal and professional, whatever. So, and then we after that we probably implemented a lot of actions to help our this challenge to go away, which was an attrition. And this was one of the initiative. But at the same time, one activity which even today, my old team, even today also they remember, we started recognizing people. We started doing reward and recognition program where we started inviting top leaders who can come forward and talk about their successful journey, who can give inputs to the team, talk about how they have probably grown from A to A plus. So these are certain activities, initiatives we did where it was more of an engagement activity. So there was a feel that we are together, we are a team, and yeah, the team again delivered. So at the end of the year, when we looked at our attrition, very happy to see that we are in a single digit. And this was possible again by only doing two things. Building a trust that we are there for you, we will be there for you at any situation. Giving that confidence that we are going to stand in every situation and we can deliver whatever you expect, because it was already there in the previous initiative of ours. And at the same time, we could give that value addition in their career progression. So career progression is something which everybody look for. So we could do that, and we could build that kind of a team. And gradually, yes, we were out from that situation. It was a red flag, of course, but after that, we were at a very comfortable situation.
Fantastic, Mr. Whistle. It's clear that creating a culture of trust and engagement takes more than just numbers. It's about genuinely understanding and responding to what employees need.
Oh, yes. I think, see, I will tell you one thing, I still see there are many organizations. They just look at the problem statement. They do not look at the root cause of it. And you will see that the leaders do not go and make their hands dirty. I think that's something which is very, very critical for any leader. If you wanted to grow, even for a young frontliner or a team leader kind of a guy, or a supervisor, or even the super CEO of the organization, it's very important that you are connected with your team members at every level. You build that confidence. Engagement is something which is core. Engagement is a core. So you need to get engaged. You need to be with them at every situation. And that makes a difference.
Absolutely, absolutely. All right. So, Mr. Bhattacharya, you have had an incredible journey leading organizations and making strategic decisions at every turn. Looking ahead, how do you see your career evolving in the future? What are some of the boardroom aspirations or key goals you have for the coming years, whether it's about shaping new business strategies or taking on larger leadership roles?
See, today I'm prepared to take up any kind of an assignment, especially business specific assignments, which can add value to the startups, to the young leaders, new generation business. So that's something which I always aspire for, and that's where I would like to get into. I have always tried for a challenging situation. So it's not just about, business. It's also about building a sustainable team, sustainable business, something which people should aspire for. So yes, I think today, if you ask me, I would definitely, look at assignments where I'm in a position to add strategic value to any organization for that matter.
Absolutely. And it's clear that with all the success you have had so far, you are really setting yourself up for even bigger things.
Oh, yes. I think, when I go back and when I look at my past, I think I don't remember even a time where I thought of doing anything smaller. So I always aspired for doing something bigger and much bigger. And like I said, my career has been fantastic. It's fantastic. So yes, I have achieved whatever I have aspired for.
Great, Mr. Bhattacharya. All right, so moving forward, talking about ESG, environmental, social, and governance, it has become such a pivotal conversation in boardrooms across the world, especially in sectors like investment and real estate, where long-term sustainability is key. So, given your experience with corporate governance in these industries, I'm curious to hear your thoughts on how you see ESG evolving in business operations moving forward.
See, if you look at today, everybody is talking about ESG. So if you look at a concept as an ESG, it's not something which is new. But yes, it is much more structured. It's holistic. Now it is tracked and monitored. Previously we used to talk about CSR, etc. So it's a bigger version of CSR, which is now becoming a trend. The importance of ESG will continue to grow. This is something which is which is a need of this particular time, and this has come from whatever is today we are talking about it. But if you remember, 2000s, I remember even that time we used to talk about something which is sustainable, like having an online platform for doing a business. So you reduce usage of paper. That was one of the activity. Having an online platform to track whatever is happening within the organization. So it is transparent. You are in a position to communicate whatever you are communicating. Having a platform to talk to millions of people across the country, giving them information, training them. Again, it's building a sustainable culture, taking care of your social responsibility. We are in a position to share your knowledge with others. So these were there, but yes, today it is advanced, structured, measurable. It's not only India, globally, even if you look at this, everybody is talking about it, and this has happened only when everybody started talking about climate change, etc., etc. They started looking at multiple aspects which can probably go well with our future. So yes, so if you look at certain sectors like you mentioned, real estate or investments, in the real estate side, if you look at it, everybody is talking about a green building. People are talking about green building, eco-friendly building, using a concrete which is less of carbon, proper ventilation. A lot of things are happening. So this is happening across. So this is not because the sector is asking for it. It is because everybody has started talking about it. Look at investors. Now they are not just looking at a short-term return. They are also very serious about climate change, an impact in the society, a lot of things. So they have started demanding. So it is becoming a norm. So this is on the real estate side, green building, having a system to measure air quality, so kind of an air purification system. A lot many things are happening in the real estate side. Even if you look at a investment side, it is becoming thematic. People, even the fund manager today, when he is designing a product, he is looking at ESG as one of the core ingredients to his entire investment. There are green energy projects, there are green bonds, there are investment opportunities which is exclusively focused towards building a sustainable infrastructure. So yes, when I look at my industry, real estate or investment side, it's limitless, and investors have started talking about it. Stakeholders are very, very clear that they, apart from having a return, they are also looking at sustainable return, a long-term return. So ESG is there, it's going to be there, and it is long-term, because today, if you look at globally, this is becoming a norm. And trust me, it is good for the society, and it is good for the future as well.
Absolutely, Mr. Bissell. And ESG is a fundamental shift that's redefining industries. And it's great to hear how you are leading the way in making it an integral part of business strategy.
Yeah, I think, see, that's any business for that matter, be it my industry or any industry for that matter. This is the need of an hour, so probably everybody is looking at it very, very positively. Globally, we need to understand the importance of ESG as a whole, implement in each and every activity or a business we do, not only as a business, but even when we are an individual or an investor, we need to consider this as one of the important and integral part.
Absolutely, absolutely. All right. So, Mr. Bhattacharya, as someone with extensive experience across multiple industries, we are curious to know what led you to join Directors Institute and how has your experience been since becoming a part of our community?
See, we are living in a new world, and when I am talking about a new world, it's a world where you need to acquire new skills every time. You need to be updated. And my experience with the Director Institute has been fantastic. It's not just having one skill or a two skill for that matter. It's being part of a like-minded team who is there to talk about their practical experiences throughout and adds value in each and every activity you do professionally. So one is, of course, apart from gaining a skill, it's also about practical understanding of the globe and understanding the value of having being there with the like-minded people, because they are the ones, they have experienced and they know how the industry moves, how the industry works. So even apart from this, what for me, what was more important, I'm not talking about the content, because content, of course, it plays a critical role, and that's already there because it's designed by experts. It was unique, it was unique in its nature. So content is fantastic. It was unique, it was up to date, it was something which will add value when you move ahead. So yes, for me, if you ask me, that's something which made me take a call. And yeah, I'm happy about it. Probably I'm understanding a lot more new things which will add value to me in future too.
Incredible, incredible. It's incredible to hear how Directors Institute has made such a meaningful impact on your leadership approach, Mr. Bhattacharya.
Yeah, I think, yes, I completely agree with you.
Great. Well, there you have it, folks. A big thank you to Mr. Bhattacharya for joining us today and sharing such valuable insights. It's clear that his journey from navigating complex markets to his ongoing dedication to growth really speaks to the power of leadership and continuous learning. Mr. Bhattacharya, your experience with Directors Institute and how it has shaped your approach to governance and business leadership is truly inspiring. Thank you so much for joining in.
Thank you so very much, Mr. Pancholi. It's a pleasure to be here.
Thank you once again, Mr. Bhattacharya. And to our audience, we hope today's conversation has sparked some new ideas and motivated you to keep pushing forward in your own professional journey. As always, if you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with others who might benefit from these discussions. Thank you for tuning in to another episode. We will catch you next time with more stories from leaders shaping the future. Until then, stay curious, stay inspired, and keep leading with purpose. Thank you so much and have a nice time.